Hi everyone, my name is Megan Slate, and we have some fun things to talk about today. So we have Gayle Ratchford and Lisa Saris and Rose C, because I don't know how to say your last name yet. And we're going to talk about Facebook parties. So we're starting off by just talking about how we do Facebook parties, because everyone does them differently, right? This is the beauty of it, is you can make it fit your life. You can make it fit you. So Rose is going to start us off and just talk about some transitions that she's made in her business and how they've been helpful to her.
Hi, I am Rose Cruz, and I'm a senior executive sales leader. And I just started running my parties 7 months ago, multi-host. I run them 5 days. I usually extend 2 days for ordering. The first day, I go over the Safe Haven 5, and I go live for 5 to 7 minutes. I do a quick butter demo, and I just say how the party is going to be ran and what we're going to do throughout the week. And then the second day, I go over, for the Safe Haven 5, I just do posts. I just do a few videos throughout the day. And then my live is just, like I said, a butter demo. And then the second day, I go over hidden gems, and I usually take whatever the specials are that month, or if we're having a flash sale or something like that, then I throw those in there for the hidden gems that day. And then the third day ordering opens, I go live for 5 minutes again. And when I go live, I just go whenever I can throughout the day. It's not a particular time, just I have 6 little kids, so I just hop on when I can. And I talk about what the specials and the sales are for that month and how to order. And then day 4, I do booking teasers, and day 5, it's a final call for orders, and I do product teasers that day, new products that I haven't talked about already, to try to get people maybe to host if they see something new that they don't have. And
So sorry, me. So that was awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, Gayle, take it away, Gayle.
Hey, everybody. My name is Gayle Ratchford. I'm a senior executive sales leader in Rochester, New York. My mom is texting me, so if you hear some pings and dings, it's just her. I actually have to give a little bit of a plug to Erin Logan, because I started following her Rockstar Party Girl guidebook a few years ago, and she just updated a few months ago. So I really do follow her format. And I'll say that what we do is we party in groups, just like Katie Barnett was saying, like, get into groups now. So I followed that advice, and she was right for a number of reasons. We open our party group every Saturday. Every Saturday, there's a new party group that opens. And I say we because I do party with multiple hosts and team members. So it's never party alone. I've heard that preached in Norwex a number of times. And so we practice that. I prep my hostesses and I help them pre-invite. I really believe in the pre-inviting process so that nobody's in the group who didn't already agree to be there. So we ask, would you like to be invited? We only add yes people to the group. We post twice a day until demo day. And demo day is always Wednesday for us. And that's because it fits my schedule. And I'm typically the group MC. So if people can't make that work, then I invite them to watch what I do. And then they can create a mirror image group with their own people on a timetable that's right for them. Demo day, we have 10 posts in the evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's a little bit fast, but I tell all of my hostesses, like, hey, make sure that everybody knows there are going to be 10 posts. They're going to happen in 1 hour, and they're going to be kind of fast. So if people can't watch, they can dip in and out, and everything's going to be there for them after the fact. We do a live prize drawing after the main demo posts have taken place, and I take my makeup off with 2 cloths. 1 makeup removal cloth and 1 body cloth. And then I raffle off those 2 items. New, of course. I always tell people that, like, I'm going to send you new ones, right, guys? Then we have follow-up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then a grand finale on Sunday. So Friday is all about bookings, and I feature products that are in the host rewards for that month or the coming month, depending on where we are. Friday is all about the starter kit, what's in the starter kit, and how much money like could you potentially make with Norwex partying like this on Facebook. Saturday is like a wrap up of things that are on sale. So for anybody who hasn't already ordered, hey, these are all the cool things that are on sale. And then Sunday is a grand finale prize drawing for hostesses who play our host competition. And we end with an opportunity event for anybody who's interested in joining. So the party is actually 7 days, but the main party is one day. And I have to say, you guys, every week, we have people booking and joining. All right. So I'm not saying that I personally get a recruit every week, but I already had somebody join this week in our current party. See what I'm saying? And it helps my team members recruit and book too.
And that is so genius because you're making it a part of your culture. I love that. And I just feel like even if you Facebook party differently than this, like multi-host, one night, like there are tips I can take from both of you that will help me. However you choose to Facebook party, like so nice. You have different styles. I love that. That's so good. And also, yes, huge shout out to Katie Barnett. For me as well. I have done Facebook parties for 5 years now, probably. And I do a group as well. And when I switched to Facebook groups, I think my sales tripled probably. If I would go back and look, it was significant shift. So thank you, Katie Barnett, for explaining Facebook algorithms to all of us, because that's huge. So I do 7 days of pre-posts, very similar to you guys in a few ways. Those are automated posts, and I add my host a week before the event, the party, so that she can be interacting with guests. I do 2 Facebook parties a night. So I do an 8 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. Right now, my life is insane. And I think I'm going to make sure that it slows down. Right now for April, I think I have 26 Facebook parties. So I kind of am like, I am ridiculous to even myself right now. Like I really am. And I get that. And I am just working really hard right now. I have a few goals that I'm trying to reach and meet. So I'm working very, very hard. But I am tired. So I'm just going to give you a heads up. Like Facebook party is still work. Just because you do it online doesn't mean that it's not hard work. Like I work very hard in my business. And I have to watch myself to make sure that I'm not getting burnt out for sure. But just so you guys know that, like I am partying hard right now. I do a live demo at 8. I start roll call, and then I do a chemicals post, and I'm live for 12 to 15 minutes, and I'm covering the Safe Haven 5 and a few other things that I love. I'm mentioning joining and definitely talking about hosting a party in that live. And then we're interacting there, and I'm talking about how the host needs at least one person to book their own Facebook party. And then I usually leave ordering open a few days, 2 or 3 days. I'm really bad right now at closing parties. I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't closed your party. I need to touch base with you. So that's something I really need to work on, is making that a little bit more, nailed down. But that is how I Facebook party right now. And it's fun and it's fabulous. And I'm in my Waldo jammies or my hair wrap, and it's just, real life. All right, go ahead, Lisa.
All right, so I love this because I get to pick up little, tidbits from you guys too. I've always partied online, so I'm a new executive vice president sales leader. I've been with Norwex for 4.5 years, and I've always run my business online. So I feel like when you do that, you've tried a lot of different things, and we'll talk about this later, but I think really finding what works for you is best. So for my family right now, and I had to give my shout out to Melissa Detmer. She's from the same area that I am, and I know she runs everything online as well, and I really latched on to that at the beginning. So I saw, a webinar one time where she talked about she set up her parties 4 to 5 days in advance, and I switched to that. I've tried 2 weeks, I've tried 1 week, I tried different things, but I seem to like to set up 4 to 5 days in advance. I build up to a live party, if you will. So for example, today I set up my party for next Tuesday, and I'll post, 1 to 3 times a day. I kind of to build up. So today I posted once, I'll post twice tomorrow, twice on Sunday, 3 times Monday, like that. So I'll build up to the event. And then like Megan, I have I think you said you do this, a 1-hour party. So I do a roll call, and then I do a chemicals of concern post, and then I do my live, which is Safe Haven 5 in the MOP, just like you said. And I also do all kinds of booking and team building seeds throughout that live. And then I have some posts afterwards, let's say the cleaning paste and some before and afters, just because you can show a lot more using, customer before and afters. And then laundry detergent, booking post, all of that, it wraps up within an hour. I advertise a 48-hour close. And the sooner people order, the more entries they get into the drawing. So if they're one of the first 3 orders that night, they get 15 entries into our door prize drawing. Anyone else before midnight's 10 entries. The next day, I'll say they get 5 entries. That next day, then the day of closing, I'll give them 5 entries. And then the next day, as requested, we always extend the party a day. So, because I'll always say, if you need more time, let us know. And so then that next day, I'll always say, as requested, we're going to leave the party open another day, to kind of help, get those last few orders in. And I, schedule these posts like Megan said. Now, one change I've done in 2020 is I was like Megan before. I always did a party at 8 and 8:30. So then I would go live from 8:10 to 8:30, and then 8:30 or 8:40 to 9 basically. And my posts were still going in that other party. Starting in February, I started the multi-host parties where I try to have 2 to 4 hosts in a party group. And so now instead of partying 2 nights, I used to party 2 nights a week. I party the 1 night, but I have the same amount of hosts in theory that I had before. And I'm loving that. But I do the exact same template. So whether I have 1 host or I have 4 hosts, I'm doing the exact same post and everything. It's just there's more links in my multi-host party. So, and more testimonies from, the hosts and things like that. So I'm loving it. So I just love hearing all the different ideas and how we can all run it different ways. So.
And I think this is genius too, because at different seasons of your life, you could tweak or change. And Facebook's always changing. So I feel like we constantly have to be adjusting because it's always changing. So there's always new things to learn. So this is really helpful. Okay, so our question, Lisa, you're going to start us off again. Our question now is, what seems to boost your Facebook party engagement the most? Because as we know, it's all about relationships and engagement. If you sit there and automatically post in your Facebook and like stuff, that is not the goal, and you will probably not have a great Facebook party because you're not building those relationships. So go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, so I think the first thing is your host has to be involved. If you can have the best script, you can have the best live video, you can have the best door prizes, but if your host is not in your party and your host is not involved in getting her friends involved, it's probably not going to be as successful as it could be. So I think the host is the key. So really getting your hostess involved and coach them. I've found hosts want to have great parties, but they don't know how. And that's our job, is we get to, walk them through that process of how to have a great party. And then I think that we have a very special opportunity with Norwex because we get to educate and build relationships. And that's always our focus. Is to educate and to build relationships. And when we focus on that, I think that people see that. And so I've had a lot of people come to parties and say, I wasn't going to buy, but then when when you didn't try to sell me something, I decided I was going to buy from this party now. And so I think that that's really important, especially right now. So, party, focus on educating and building and bringing people together. Filter those people into your VIP group if they don't already have a consultant. And then whether they want to buy right now or you build that relationship and they buy in 6 months, it's still a win for our Norwex mission. So don't assume that people don't want to party or, don't want to buy. Just focus on educating and building relationships, and that the rest of everything, I think, falls into place.
Yeah, I think that's good. Rose, do you actually want to go now? Because your thoughts are kind of similar to that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was just the one thing that I want to say that helps with engagement in my parties is always ending my comments. Whenever someone comments on a party, ending it with a question and asking the potential customer a question about themselves. And so I think that people love to talk about themselves. And I think that when we end with a question, they usually respond. And so that just bumps up the post and that helps with interaction. And I've known that to be, I mean, I usually don't even send out a message without a question at the end of it. You know, it really just helps if I'm sending a private message or commenting on the party. I'm always trying to ask a question about themselves to get that engagement and that interaction.
That's awesome. I think that's really great. Yeah, engagement. Like, I'm always viewing these Facebook parties as, these are my new friends. This is my new friend group. These people are becoming my friends. So exactly like you guys are talking about, like getting to know them, serving them. Sales is service, Heather Barkey always tells me. Like, it's about, getting to know them and building a relationship. I love that. I think that's huge. My tip for engagement is that I give my host a graphic and exact verbiage for what to post on her personal Facebook page to encourage people to comment if they want an invitation. They all do it. I'm really surprised, but I just constantly see this post showing up in my newsfeed every time. They all post it because, and I just talk about it, in a kind of lighthearted way, in a fun way, and people start responding, and she gets encouraged by that because people are responding that they want an invite and they want to learn more about it. And really, it's like a teaser. Like, do you want to learn more? Comment below and I'll add you. They'll add them to the party. And I try to have her keep track of who says yes. So when it's time to invite or have her people join her group, she's tracked who said yes. Because I totally agree with you, Gayle. Like, not just adding. No, horrible. The other thing that I have done in the past couple of months is having 2 screens open and having the members of the group open and then tagging them under the roll call post. So saying something like, welcome officially to our party, and I tag each person individually. Oh my word. If I don't do that, it's like, where is everyone? Hello. And when I start doing that, they all start commenting in roll call, because everyone needs a reminder, because we're all crazy busy and I never remember to join a party unless somebody reminds me. So that tagging has gone super well. And apparently right now there's a button you can click that you can scroll. When you tag someone, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and it tags everyone in the group. I can't decide if that's like super personable or not. I haven't decided if I like it or not. I think, when you see your name tagged, it feels a little bit, and it's not totally personal, but it feels a little bit more personal than just like, boom, everyone tag. So I'm still deciding about that and playing with that. And ESL on my team, Heather Owen, has told me about that and trying to play with if that's a good idea. But that is an option, that you can tag everyone in the group very quickly with that button. Okay, let's have Gayle go. Go ahead.
I have questions about that, but I will table them for later. Okay, so in terms of engagement, I think the number one thing is fun, okay? Like, before this Zoom was recording, Megan commented on my glasses. You guys, I specifically got these glasses because of Facebook. I never, ever would have picked these out if I wasn't thinking about something remarkable. And so I want everyone to think about this word, remarkable. If you post something that's remarkable, people will make a comment on it. See? You see what I'm talking about? So what is Facebook all about? It's about the comments. And being remarkable doesn't mean that you have to do something extraordinary. It just needs to warrant a remark. All right. And because we're with Norwex, we want it to be good, clean, fun. All right. So fun is huge. I also mentioned that engagement is super important, and trying to take all that on myself, I found was a little bit too much heavy lifting. Okay. So as leaders, all of us here in this chat can probably agree that we not only want to focus on our personal business, which is our number one priority, but we also want to help other people learn how to party and have their business. So as I said earlier, I started partying not only with multiple hostesses, but with other team members. So we have a behind the scenes chat with just consultants, and I ask them to do different things in the party to help move things along. So their participation actually invigorates the activity in the group for the guests too. So multiple hosts, multiple consultants. And then I also agree with what Rose is saying. People love to talk about themselves, and they also are super nosy, even if they say they aren't. So just like Megan was saying, you want to be not only relatable, but you want to involve your own household, right? So I have a post called Beat the MC. And I introduce myself as the MC, and then I'll pick something in my house that people have to beat and they can win a prize. And it's Norwexy. So I'll say, like, beat the MC. How many rolls of toilet paper do you have in your house? It's got to be like applied to current events too, or to Norwex. So in this last party that I was doing this week, beat the MC, how many bottles are under your bathroom sink? And I took all the bottles out of my bathroom sink. I took a picture of them, and then I put beat the MC, how many bottles? And then in the main post, it's like, hey, did you know that there are an average of 62 toxic chemicals in everyone's home? Oh my gosh, what's in your, what are in your bottles? So it's related to Norwex. They get to see what's underneath my sink, and then they get to go in their sink, and they're like, how many bottles do I have? I don't even know. Look at all these bottles. Oh my gosh, I have so many bottles. Look at all these bottles. Where do they come from? And then I've actually had people not only comment, but they start talking to their friends. And then I'm not even involved. It's other people in the group talking to each other. And I'm like, have fun. Right? Right.
That's totally awesome. There's no way we're going to get done in 40 minutes, so I just upgraded my Zoom account. We now have unlimited minutes. Boom. Okay, hang on. Who's next? Tell me our next question. Gayle, help me out here.
What's your top host coaching tip? And Rose, you're up.
All right. My tip that I have is I just started 6 months ago or 7 months ago sending out samples to every single person in the party that wants them. 7 months ago, I had taken off the summer because I had the 6 kids and we were having some family problems. And so I took off the summer. I had 3 parties on my calendar, and I needed to build back up. I was doing about 15 before that. So I decided with my friend Susie, we made up this new party style, and we decided we were going to start sending samples out. And I went from 3 parties to 23 or 4 in about 5-ish months. And my sales went from 3,000 to 11,400 in 5 months. So it is mainly for me, it was because of the samples, just sending out 1/12 of a viral cloth, 1/16 of a window cloth. Super simple. We were cutting up catalogs the first 2 months, old catalogs to stuff them. Nothing fancy about them. Like Gayle's super fancy. All of her stuff is so cute. Our stuff is not fancy at all. Cutting old catalog is crazy, but it worked. And so, yeah, sending samples. And when I send the samples, I also ask them to post a testimony in the party. And I ask them that first before I send them the samples. And then when they say yes, everybody does. I tell them that I send them like a little message that says, when you get your samples, I have a video for you. It's in my VIP group, and I send them my VIP group. And most of those people will click on and go into my VIP group. So before I've even sent them a sample, I've never sold them anything. They're in my VIP group. So that's really grown too. I don't know by how many, but I think 100 at least. And I just started doing that probably 2 months ago. So.
Good tip. Awesome. Good host coaching tip. Okay, Gayle, go ahead.
So Rose and I started chatting. What was it, like a month ago, Roseanne? Um, and I had never done samples ever. But I liked this idea so much that I was like, dang, this is like a really cool idea. And I agree, cutting up old Norwex materials is such a good idea. We have a business printer at my house, and I don't recommend that anyone go and buy a business printer, unless it's going to be a really good investment for you. So just cut and paste stuff, with actual scissors. So I will agree with Roseanne in that it is snail mail. Okay. Top hosting tip: snail mail. Send hostesses what they need to play the host challenge game. And the host challenge game is basically the way that I play it, and just make this fit your business. Okay. Like, you can have a host challenge game where you draw for a body cloth, right? Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. I draw for a set of pillowcases, and all the hostesses compete, but it's not really a competition, compete against each other, and any consultants who are in my party and have invited guests, they count as hostesses. So people are super motivated because they're gonna get a set of pillowcases, and in the end, it's a drawing. And you get entries, just like Lisa was saying. So every time they complete a host challenge in our group, they get their name again entered in our pillowcase drawing. So snail mail is important. So catalog, and then I have this little list of items that I send to my hostesses. So a piece of an EnviroCloth, a piece of a window cloth, a piece of a makeup removal cloth, a tiny 2x3 bag of Ultrazyme, 1 scoop, a tiny half a scoop of UPP, a tiny shaving of cleaning paste, and then a square of the netted dishcloth. And I got that, the collection of product there, I got that idea from Heather Petersheim, because she does like this little host box. And I was like, snaps, girl. So ultimately, here's another quick tip. Helping them with, Megan, like with what you're saying, what to say to invite people, and then sharing with them the Facebook stats so that making a list of 50 doesn't seem scary. Just say to them, you got to have a list of 50, 25 will say yes, half of those will probably buy. That's 12 orders, okay? So the bigger your list and the more clearly you follow my instructions, the more success we're gonna have. And then finally, an actual phone call. If you can talk with your hostess on the phone, and Sherry Hamlin like drills this into everybody, call them. They have a greater tie to you personally, and you're just not like another Facebook passing in the wind voice. You see what I'm saying? Phone call.
Oh man, I hate talking on the phone.
It's just one woman's opinion, Meg. You asked, remember?
That's a good tip though. Okay, so my top host coaching tip is to give her a checklist. I really like checklists. I'm very task oriented, and I find that about I would say 30 to 50% of my hosts are finishing their checklist, and I offer them a $20 host credit when they complete my checklist. And it's just full of tips that I have found to be helpful. And I always let her know she doesn't have to complete the checklist. It's totally fine if she doesn't. But if she does, again, she's got a $20 host credit that I'm going to give her. I also am offering free laundry detergent for a year with a $1,000 party. So Rhonda Hector told me she was doing that, I think in Maui a while back. And it really doesn't that just sound like appealing? Like I was like, oh my goodness, that is the best way to say that ever. I would work for that. Now, honestly, it's not that much detergent. I give 2 bags of powder or 2 things of liquid. If they have a high efficiency washing machine, like I'm not giving them that much detergent, but it's literally, that's if they have a high efficiency, if they're using a half a teaspoon per load, that's going to be 800 loads of laundry. For most people, that's laundry detergent for a year. So I just shipped that via Shopping Spree. And I think in March, I had $4,000 Facebook parties. So 4 hosts. So my percentage isn't super high, but 4 of them did it. And they were really motivated by it. And I blow it up in my VIP group that they hit that goal and they earned free laundry detergent for a year, because it's really like they're motivated by it and they want to know that. Also, one of the things is I'm sending my host a video that she needs to tell me a secret word back so that I know that she watched the video, and I try not to let her be in her group until she has watched the video. So she's following my rules and what I want her to do, because if she just goes in and invites 200 people, like I'm going to be like, so I want her to watch the video, tell me the secret word, confirm her date, and then she gets added to the group. Okay, Lisa, take it away.
All right, I love this. This is so fun. Okay, so I do send a host packet, and in it has a host, not a checklist, but a host, like tips for a successful Facebook party. And I also send that virtually. So like right now I'm behind and haven't sent out my April host package yet. And so but I do make sure I'm sending all of that virtually as well. But I do think people like having something in the mail, like you ladies were saying earlier. So what I found to be helpful is I send 1 or 2 host coaching tips a day. So starting that 5 days when I set up the party, I start sending them 1 or 2 tips every day to kind of coach them along. And Roseanne mentioned this earlier, I end with a question. So that way they feel this need to respond back to me. I often get asked, do I use, Project Broadcast or Facebook Messenger? I actually use Facebook Messenger, which means it's not scheduled, but I found it's part of my power hour. So it's the first thing I do every day. I check my Facebook parties, make sure I didn't miss any comments, and then I send my host coaching tips. I end with that question, and then I'm hoping that they're responding to me, which is then starting that conversation. So for example, I might say, your tip today is to share a before and after photo or a testimony about a product. Remind me, what products do you own again? And then they're responding back with what they own. And then I can say, do you have any ideas of what you would like to share with those? Or if they don't, I can say, hey, you have a window cloth. Why don't you take your Enviro window cloth and clean your bathroom mirror? And then give them that idea so that they know what to show their friends, something like that. And then I also incentivize for certain things. So I incentivize the number of guests that they get into the group, because like we've said earlier, you don't want them just mass adding people to the group, because that's spammy. So right away, my first day is getting it set up, giving them the a message that they're going to send out to their friends. The next day I let them know, and I start small, because I think if we try to tell them they need too many people in the group, it overwhelms certain people and they shut down. Like, I could never do that. So I will say your goal is to get 15 people who want to be in this group in the group. But if you get 25, which is 27 counting you and me, I'm going to gift you a bonus and whatever the gift is. And that's going to depend on your business and what you have for free. And then also I incentivize outside orders. So 3 outside orders or 5 outside orders, much like we do for a home party. And I had a new consultant recently ask me, why do I do that? Because she said, you really wanted to see your live demo, right? And then maybe want to buy, like, say, the Safe Haven 5. And I said, I think, though, if you can get them to get some orders under their belt before their party hits, there's more skin in the game. So they start to see success. They start to see their friends are interested and that they're buying and that they're having fun. And I thank people. If they order ahead of time, I thank them in the group, and they get bonus entries for ordering before the party. So those are just some tips, but I found that sending 1 or 2 tips a day in a manageable chunk, and I have that all in a Word document on my computer. So I'm literally copying and pasting it to my host. It's not, it's not hard work. I'm not always coming up with something new, or you could also voice message that as well.
Excellent. Love it. Now I have a really quick off our scheduled broadcast question. How in the world do you guys draw for winners? How are you doing this? How are you tracking that? Tell me.
I'll go. You guys are too nice too, because I totally just answered that question wrong and nobody said anything to me.
I didn't catch it. You
said hostess coaching tip, and I told you my best Facebook tip.
Swap it. You're gonna say yours next, and then we'll move on to our next discussion. But
okay, cool.
I had to pause us really fast. So tell me how you do this.
So the giveaways. Okay, so Susie and I rarely do giveaways. Susie does none, and I do one for up to, at this point, 14 hosts in one group. And the way I do it is I give away one travel and viral cloth. It's so boring, you guys, but I don't have the time and I can't remember to send it out. I'm not remembering to set it out. I don't have the time to figure out points, and I don't have the time to figure out who did what when. And so I literally I just go through the posts and I kind of see who commented or liked the most, and then boom, I pick one person. That's how I do it. And I don't say that they get points or anything like that. I just say somebody's going to win for interaction. Someone is going to win a free cloth, and I don't even say what it is. And I send out one travel and viral cloth. And that's just because I personally can't keep up and don't have the time.
And I think that's ideal because it works for your life. And that's the goal of Party Online, is make it work for your life. Okay, Gayle or Lisa, go for it.
Lisa, your point system, I want to hear about, because you guys are going to laugh when I tell you what I do.
Okay, I can't wait. I want to know what you do.
So this is a job I actually delegate out. So my virtual assistant, who works very efficiently, she goes through at the end of the party. And because I always put how many, entries they're getting, she writes them down, and then I just put them into a spinner. She spins it for me and sends me a screenshot of who won. And if it's less than 100 entries in a party, it's wheeldecide.com. If it's more than 100 entries in a party, Aaron Logan shared with me a Post My Party spinner that can hold up to like 5,000 names. So I use that. And then recently for the multi-host parties, because I'll do one giveaway basically per party, although I have been playing that Scrabble game, like a Scrabble game where they have to make words, and I'll say the last person to make a new word before I say stop will win a free product. And that is going really well for algorithms. I'll play that like a day, maybe the day before the party or 2 days before. And then I'll send like a travel and viral cloth for that one. And I, like Rose said, I actually keep a Google sheet on it's a tab always open on my computer, and that's my mailing list. So whenever somebody wins and I see it, I write it on my mailing list, or if they get a shopping spree from me, like a teammate. And so I have one that's for mailing and one that's for shopping sprees. And then I have a local assistant who helps me with the mailings, but that's why I'm behind, because she's not coming right now because of everything going on, and I refuse to go to the post office. So I'm going to ship from home. But anyways, and it's not real scientific. So if something's off, it doesn't matter. But with the multi-host, what I've been doing is as I spin, because I've been doing this, I did this last week for some reason, but when I spin, I look in my order history and I see if I can try to find somebody from each party. You know what I mean? Like, so that way it's not all three people from one party. If they hit 350, I try to find a winner from their party too. And they get a kitchen cloth. It's nothing fancy. I mail it in a catalog. And then I do a makeup removal cloth for Ask Me About My Job game. And I do the same thing. The last person to ask a question before I say stop will win a free makeup removal cloth.
Yeah.
What do you do, Gayle?
Okay, so a common theme here is that several of us have help, right? Like we're either partnering with a teammate or partnering with an assistant. Probably very much like Megan, my husband and I work this business together. He just does not want to be on camera, but he's like, Gayle, I'll do anything that needs to be done for the business. So for anybody watching this after the fact, like get some help, even if it's somebody who's on your team, okay? Like get some help. Don't try to do everything yourself. Okay, so two things. One, I use search in my party group all the time, and that's how I count entries. So I'm not keeping track of comments. I'm not keeping track of who put a check mark where they were supposed to. I just know, okay, my hostesses are in this drawing. I enter their name in the search box. However many times they interacted as I asked them to, they get their name in Wheel Decide. Okay, Wheel Decide is a spinner website, just like Lisa was sharing, but you can only put 99 names in it. All right, so that's a limitation. So what I do is I have multiple Wheel Decide pages open, and I do different drawings for different posts. So for example, we want these games that people can play that are fun, right? So Lisa has, did you say Scrabble? I want that. Whatever you have, I want that jazz. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I know. We have one for guess the number of nubbins in a pet to dry. And and people have to guess the nubbins and you have to get it exactly right to win. And then I send them a pet to dry. Okay. Like again, shopping sprees or whatever you have a gazillion things of. And just like Rose is saying, I only give actually probably 3 things in a party. And every one of my consultants who is participating, they have to donate a prize and be responsible for mailing it out. So I'll say tonight's prize, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Jennifer and Sherry are giving Norwex kitchen cloths. Oh my gosh, here they are. Did you know that you can get these for free for hosting? Because I really want prizes to be attached to something that I want in this party, whether it's the starter kit or the host rewards or whatever that might be, right? Okay. Yeah. Did they answer the question?
So good. You totally answered the question. Yes, totally. And Lisa, your answer was totally fine. And I have a virtual assistant as well. And I could not do my business without her. Now, I think for someone getting started, sometimes you don't need help right away if you're just getting started. But if you start going for it, do it. Okay, anything else you want to add to that? That was really helpful. Good tip. Okay, Rose, you're going to answer host coaching, your top host coaching tip. So answer that, and then we'll go to our next question, which you can skip because you already did it.
I already answered it. Thank you. Okay. So my hostess coaching tip is to hold their hand. Obviously, we talked about how they just don't know what to do. So we give them all the script, everything to say when they're inviting. And I just started this again like 7 months ago where I do it in Messenger. I used to do it in Project Broadcast, but I noticed when I was doing it in Project Broadcast that I didn't have enough of a handle on it because I wasn't making sure that they were doing everything they needed to do every single day because it wasn't in my face. And the Project Broadcast was doing it for me. So I changed to Messenger, and I actually have 5 steps for them to do before I even let them into the group. And I don't go from step 1 to step 2 until step 1 is done. And so I'm literally holding their hand every single step. I have maybe 10 hosts at a time, and they're all moving at different speeds. I try to schedule a time to invite with them so that I'm not doing it for 3 days at a time. But everybody usually doesn't always stick to that. So I am kind of going back and forth a couple days. But if I give them one and they don't do it, we can't even move on. And so they're doing every single thing I want them to do before they get into the group because I'm making sure they do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good little tip right there. Is the engagement, the connection, encouraging them to finish their text. That's really good. Okay, now we're going to say your top Facebook party tip, which Rose, you covered your samples, which I think is a genius and so fun idea. Gayle, go ahead. You're going to have a great answer for this one. Can't wait to hear it.
Megan, it's just simple. Like, if you're not having fun on Facebook, what are you doing? What are you doing? The world can be a serious place. So if you're on Facebook, have some fun. And it's really interesting. I have been talking, Rose, by the way, Roseanne runs this amazing group called Revamp. And it's for people who have been doing Facebook parties or maybe even never did a Facebook party and they're trying to like get back into the swing, right? And just for a little context, I was a home party girl. I had done like you guys 3 Facebook parties before January. And for some reason, I had this voice inside me that just said, Gayle, you got to up your Facebook party game. You're leaving money on the table. And I was like, okay. So I started doing these multi-host Facebook parties because I will only do a Facebook party on Wednesday. I don't actually like Facebook very much, but don't tell anybody that. It's just between us, okay? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You got to have fun. So in the Revamp group, people are like, well, what if I'm not fun? And I'm like, time out. First of all, everybody has a funny bone. What makes you laugh? Focus on that. Okay. Like whatever makes you laugh, somebody's going to think is funny too. Besides, we have the internet. So all you need to do is click on the little GIF button or the little sticker button and find your favorite GIFs and stickers. Just type in a word. Like even if you type in the word serious, you're going to get the funniest things you've ever seen in your life, and just let the internet decide. Okay. So have some flippin' fun and ask yourself, would I want to go to my own party?
You have
And
a point there.
if you go to your own party as a guest and you're like, this isn't very much fun, you got to shake it up. Like you need to do something else. So my number one tip for Facebook is have fun. People will act out of that positive emotion. Just like Lisa was saying earlier, people were saying, I wasn't going to buy anything, but I learned so much. In my parties, people say, I wasn't going to buy anything, but this was so much fun. You see what I'm saying?
Good tip. I totally love that. My top tip is that you need to post selfies of yourself so that they get to know you, or somehow include pictures of yourself. If you have posts, include yourself, or download the Bitmoji app and find funny Bitmojis, and I send them to myself in Facebook Messenger and hop on my computer and make images in Canva that have my Bitmoji on them, because people, I think it's so, because it's virtual, right? Like we're not having this conversation one-on-one with them. They need to know who I am, what I look like, my story, blah, 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 the weird things I do. Like let people get to know you and be slightly ridiculous. I try right now to do my Facebook parties in my Waldo jammies. And the other day I didn't have them on and the host was like, where's your Waldo jammies? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So like have them get to know you, have quirky things about yourself that you talk about. And I think sometimes this is just about like, forget about yourself. If you stop thinking about yourself and being insecure about yourself, you'll think about other people instead. So just be, focus on how other people are doing and feeling, and not, I have to work through insecurities sometimes too. Like sometimes I don't want to be on Facebook, or my host is being crabby with me and I'm like, okay, just think about how she's doing, how, like stop thinking about yourself, think about them. And that really helps me sometimes. But I think the real me is big. When I'm live and my kids crawl into the live demo, no problem. I say, okay, now you're going to dust Gracie and Samuel, you're going to hold this. Like it is real life. If Michael's yelling at me across the room, I'm like, he is crabby today. Like I am real. Like I let him in. Like, come on, you want to see the real me? You're going to get it. So just being like authentic, genuine in the Facebook party, I think is huge. The other thing I wanted to say too with Facebook party is I really like the mailings. And so what I do is I mail after the party. So I mail everyone a coupon, a catalog, a little letter or note with something handwritten on it. That's what I'm doing right now. I might change that up down the road. But they also get a laundry sample from me, and again, their coupon for their future order. And I talk about how much the host earned for free in her Facebook party in that little note or letter that I send. And that has really done a lot of good things for my business. I'm also sending a little flyer about my spring buying club in that little mailer that I'm mailing out with the catalog and my little letter. And their I should talk about this too, your freebie. So I'm sending every single person that orders through a party a small freebie. So that has really increased my sales as well. Now, again, this is a lot of mailings. So I have help with this. I am not doing the mailings. My assistant who comes to my house is doing my mailings for me because I can't do that. But it has been really fun because they're getting something in the mail from me. I've booked parties from that mailing. I have people join because they looked at the consultant flyer and learned about it. I have 32 people right now in my buying club. This is my buying club because I started advertising it and sending a little note in my little, thank you for your order mailing. So that's been huge too. But again, back to being real, like be your authentic, genuine self on Facebook as much as possible. Brand yourself, Gayle, like your pink glasses, my hair wrap, my Waldo jammies. Think of things that can like make them know about you that are quirky. I love that. I think that's huge. Okay, Lisa, you're on.
No, I love those tips and I agree. So I'm all about being real. Like you said, Megan, I often wear my hair wrap, no makeup, pajamas, and that is completely fine. And honestly, I feel like, and you said this, it's a team building seat as well. because I get a lot of people, like my daughter Ruby now is 3, but she was a baby at one time and she would cry sometimes. We would do in bedtime. You know, my husband would come in, the dog starts barking or trying to get the, you know, whatever off the counter, and that's okay. So I think, you know, and then I also liked how you talked about help, because some of us on this call, we do have help, but at one point I did not have help, and sometimes I still don't have help because of situations that come up. And so sometimes help's going to look different. So it might look like a website that helps you do something. Another tip for the giveaways is you could do a hashtag, like hashtag giveaway. And then at the end, you could use Gayle's search feature and you could search giveaway, and then you could tally up that way. Sometimes help might be your kids. I know, Roseanne, your kids help you sometimes. I've seen you post that before. It could be high school or college kids from your area, or, you know, neighbors or whatever. Your husband, like Roseanne said earlier. So we have lots of different ways for help, but I think bringing your family into your business is really important. And so whether that's in your party or in your pictures or your live video or whatever, don't be afraid of that. I think your hostess is really the key to a successful Facebook party. So making sure that you have, you know, that you're coaching them. And then let's see. Oh, and finding what works for your family. So if multiple day parties with short live videos as you're really cleaning your home works best for you, do that. I used to try to do that and I would forget all the time. So that doesn't work for me. I have to have a system down. So find what works for you and your family. And that's going to change with Facebook changing, but it's also going to change as your life changes. My husband used to be a baseball coach. So spring Facebook parties looked very different to me than his off-season, my off-season Facebook parties, you know, when he would be home to help put the kids to bed. So find what works for you and adapt as you need to.
Yeah, I think that's huge, especially with Facebook, because the algorithms change, systems change, groups versus events have changed, you know, like there's always changes. So I do agree with that completely. You gotta be flexible. Okay, our last question is, what is the one Facebook party hack that everyone must know about that you love? Gayle, you are starting and you have a ton to tell us. So you can say more than one, but
I'm gonna hold up my placard. Okay. Autoplay is huge. So if you can share directly from one place in Facebook to your party, it will autoplay. If you share from YouTube, it's a cold thumbnail. It's a still thumbnail.
Pause. So like a video that you've posted like on your public business page, like walk me through this.
Yes. And quite frankly, I use almost exclusively corporate videos from Norwex's page because they're compliant and you don't have to argue with anybody. See what I'm saying? Right, you guys? Okay. So I pretty much exclusively use video that Norwex has uploaded into their public Facebook page.
Okay, pause. You are hitting the share button and you're sharing it in, nope. Okay. Tell me, walk me through.
No, because we schedule, remember? So all you need to do is copy the URL. Click copy, click paste, schedule. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you for walking us through that.
So autoplay is huge. Another thing you can do is upload video directly from your phone. Okay. And also remember that most people watch video on silent. So if it's just you, talking like that for 15 minutes, no one's going to watch your demo. Okay. So that's it. Do the action up front. Okay. The other thing is, if you upload a video into your Facebook business page, you can include closed captioning. And then Megan, yeah. And then the words go across the bottom. So if you do have a lot to say, upload your video into your Facebook page, your business page, select closed captioning. It's multiple languages. So if you want to do a closed captioning in another language, you can. And Facebook will format it for you. You guys see where I'm going with this? And then you can share directly from your business page into your party.
That's nuts.
Third thing, timestamp links. You guys know about this. You click on the timestamp of a post that you want everyone to see. You click the timestamp. Carla McQuarrie told me this. Click on the timestamp. It generates a link specifically for that post. And then you can message it to people. Hey, did you see the chicken demo? Lisa, wasn't that fun? Didn't you feel that light bulb just happen? Oh my gosh. Lisa goes like this. And then last but not least, m.me/. Okay. Right. You are messaging. Megan, you said like last Friday night, you said in a video, I friend everyone in my Facebook parties. And I shouted at the screen, you do? And then you said, I really do. And I was like, Megan, I'm on it. And you couldn't hear me, but we could hear each other. Okay. So I was like, I'm going to do that. So I friend everybody. And just like you said, about half the people accept the friend request. But now I can say, hey, I sent you a message. Check it here on this link, m.me/, and then my Facebook name. Okay. And it's really easy to find your Facebook name, you guys. You know how to do this?
You're going to have to make us videos on Loom of how to use those last two tools, because I'm still like, huh?
I have a lot, yes. So you go to your personal Facebook page, you click on your hamburger menu, and down at the bottom, Facebook will tell you what your official Facebook name is. So you just do m.me and whatever your Facebook name is. And then you have a link to Messenger, and you don't even need to be friends with people. They can message back and forth with you.
Well, that's a good tip.
Thank Kelly Shanky for that. That's from her.
Good tip. Now, these kind of techie tips, like, love them. But you seriously need to record a video of yourself using those, because I need to watch you. Okay, mine is simply the @ button. Tagging with the @ button. Like, I have all of my hosts know the @ button is your best friend in a Facebook party, because specific friends that they are like, they need a mop. Tag them in the mop video. If your friend has pets and they have a lot of pet hair, tag them in the mop video. If you have somebody who loves blah, 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 tag them in the post on paper towels. If they are, big into environmental, things, like, get them tagged in the paper towel post about the countercloths and the countercloth box set, replace their paper towels. Or if they have no paper towels right now, tag them in the paper towel post. So just using the @ button. And it does seem like right now Facebook is making us use the @ button before the name, because I used to just be able to type the name, and now I can't anymore. Again, it changes all the time. So we just got to help each other out and update each other on these things. I also find that I'm breaking my own rule right now and not saying one, but time-lapse video, when you clean something with Norwex, time-lapse, like on my phone, you just get to your photos. I don't know how it is on Android, but you get to photos. You all know how to do this, right? Like, you go on your camera and you move over. Oh, the sun is shining. You move it over to time lapse. So I'm going to go over to slow-mo and time lapse. And you move it on time lapse and you do your video of yourself cleaning. Yeah. And time lapse is super fun, because you could hold up the host rewards. You could show, but you're doing it so fast. So I find if I really want them to see what I'm doing, I really have to slow down and then go to the next thing, because it's so fast. But I cleaned my shower in 20 minutes, and it was like a 15-second little video, and I used it and edited it. But it's super fun. So I think host rewards, I need to use it more often for host rewards, to hold up what they can earn for free, just so they can see it and use that. But time lapse, nice little hack on the phone. And then also, Gayle, boom, with the videos posted from your business page. I never thought about that before. But I have started posting my albums, my photo albums, because I'll post mop pictures, before and after pictures. So I'll make an album in my business page, and I'll post, like you said, Gayle, the link from my Facebook page. And apparently Facebook likes this right now, but I didn't know about the autoplay with the videos, the videos automatically playing. And Facebook doesn't like YouTube. YouTube. They don't want to send people to YouTube. They want people to stay in Facebook. So I've been using it recently for pictures, and it's worked really well. And then sometimes if I'm manually posting, like I have to find the pictures in the file and then upload them, and I have to sit there and wait for it to upload, and then I have to click post, like if you're manually posting. So if you just click on the link, the URL where your album is, it posts them all automatically, but they still just can look at all the pictures. So that's been a nice little hack. That seemed to save me time as well. And again, it's something Facebook likes because you're using Facebook and not, other things, and that's fun. Okay, Rose, go ahead. Share us, that's your tip.
Okay, my tip is using voice messaging through Messenger. And I do it with Hostess Coaching, and I'm able to use the same message every single time, and I can forward it to my 10 hosts all at the same time. So when they're all doing step 1, I take my voice message and I just forward it to all 10 of them at the same time. And it takes seconds, and I love that they can hear my voice. I'm like you, Megan. I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I have never called anybody on the phone. I know that's so bad, but I've never. So
don't tell Sherry. Don't
tell her, she's gonna get us. But so I liked the voice message so much. And Lisa, you've talked to me through voice message. Your voice is so sweet, but I love it because they can hear my voice, and I think that's good. So that's my tip.
Walk me through this. How exactly are you doing this? Are you on your
Okay,
phone
so
recording yourself?
Am I what? Recording?
Are you recording yourself on your phone?
No, this is what I'm doing. This is probably not even the most efficient way to do it. I don't do things very efficiently, honestly.
I don't know how to do it at all, so
I need to. So I go to, let's say I'm going to send Gayle. I'm just going to practice with Gayle. I'm going to hit on my voice right here and record my message, and I'm going to send it to Gayle.
Wait, show me on your phone where you are.
Sorry. Can you see my phone? Oh, no, you can't see my phone. Can you see it now?
Yep, I see
Okay.
it.
So I'm recording right now a voice message that I'm sending to Gayle.
Yep.
I'm going to send her the message. Whoop. Now I'm going to click on this.
Well, hold your phone up Hold your phone up a little higher and back it up a little bit. Back it up a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Let's get forward.
Forward. Can you see it? It's really bright.
Tip it.
Tip it forward.
So tip it forward.
Tip it like this.
Yeah.
Oh, like this.
There you go.
Okay, now what do you do?
Okay, so now do you see the forward down here? I can't see it. I don't know if I can do this, guys. This is only the second time I've ever been on Zoom.
You're good.
You hold down on it, and a forward button comes up.
So you don't have to record the message again. Show me, Gayle.
No, can you see the forward? Gayle's got it. I can't.
You just held your finger down on it.
Hold your finger down, forward button pops up, and then when you click on forward, I can send it to 50 people at the same time if I want to.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to forward this
That's so fun.
to our chat. So now you guys just got a note from me.
I totally
got it. Rose's voice note.
And forward.
And I just got it.
Now put your finger on it, Meg. Press it.
Okay, so hold the sun. Okay, so hold down.
Now look, forward. Good.
That's good tip.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Real good tip. You're
challenged.
Fine. You're good. I'm like shining the sun. This is great. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? Okay, good job. Lisa, you are wrapping us up. Teach us your ways.
Okay, so my tip is pretty basic, but I think for a lot of people it can be a game changer. And it is to schedule your posts. So whether you're using an outside platform, if you choose to do that, or I personally, in November, I switched back over and I just use Facebook Messenger. I mean, not Facebook Messenger, Facebook to schedule.
Which is the little clock button, right? Where you normally post, you just hit the little clock button and schedule, right?
Yep. So you're in a group and you can hit the little clock button. You can schedule days in advance. So if my life is super crazy, I might only be scheduling for that day. If I'm a little bit more ahead of the game, I can schedule for the whole week. And I love that because then you don't have to think about it throughout the day. And with, when you've got potentially an outside job or kiddos or whatever, You don't want to have to think about it throughout the day. And then my other tip, and I know I'm sharing two now, but I think this is really important for online parties too, especially for people who are switching over to online, is don't let your computer or Facebook run your day. So I do not check in all day long. I really try to keep my phone away when I'm playing with my kiddos in the morning until it's my work time. And then I check my notifications. I check into each party. I check in with my host. I check in with my teammates. I have a very structured system that I use, but I think that you can feel really burnt out or overwhelmed if you're constantly, especially on your phone, checking your notifications or feeling like you have to respond. There are no microfiber emergencies. It can wait. So don't let it run your life. You choose when you're looking at that and responding.
Can I ask you, Lisa, really quick, why did you switch from an outside source for posting and switch back to just doing it yourself?
Sure. So honestly, it came down to the summer before. I had been put in Facebook jail a few different times. And I think it was from even just sharing things with teammates and teammates using my same stuff. But I started to have just weird things happen where I would even just be all of a sudden logged out of Facebook and I'd have to re-enter a password or a security check would come up. And I know that we have a Facebook, our Norwex podcast from Sherry Guthier on, how to avoid Facebook jail. And some things that some people say can trigger it are outside platforms. And whether or not that's true, I have no idea. I will say the company I was using said, no, that had nothing to do with it. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try. And I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I have not had those same issues. Like even just those little scares, like, ooh, am I going to end up going to Facebook jail? Like, what did I do wrong this time? I haven't had that in a long time, but also I have to say going to a multi-host party, it's very manageable to schedule my posts because if I'm only partying, potentially one night a week, it's not really that much. It's not that hard to do.
Can I add to that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're exactly right. Facebook, we are the drivers of Facebook content. Like really think about that, you guys. We are content creators. And actually, Facebook calls us that. They call us content creators. And because of that, they want us creating content inside their platform. So Lisa, you're exactly right. Like as everyone is talking here, I want to emphasize for everyone who's going to watch, the more that you can originate inside of Facebook and then share within that sphere, the more success you're going to have on that platform.
I think that's a great way to end this little meeting that we've just had. What do we call this? A pack meeting? No, it's like a something. Hey, maybe we can do 2.0 later. But this got us started. So any final words, y'all?
Just thank you. Megan, you share with such generosity for all of us. Your posts and your content and your graphics have bailed me out of more blank slate moments. And your name is Slate, which is so ironic. So you're like fulfilling your destiny. I love that. So if anything that we shared was a benefit to you or your team, thank you, because you have helped us so much.
And here's the deal. Like, I just cannot work by myself. Like, I need to collaborate. I need to work with people. I need to hear your top tips. I need to hear, I just feel like we've got to work together and we all improve, right? So this was very helpful. I'm so excited. I'm going to go forward some voice messages and I'm going to post some videos from my business page and from the Norwex page. And I'm going to schedule everything right now. I'm going to find some pink glasses. Also that.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Thanks, y'all. This was great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now.
All right.
Bye, everyone.